प्लीज आप सब लोग अपनी वीडियोस बंद कर दीजिए। प्लीज स्विच ऑफ योर वीडियोस।
Hi, Niharika. Hello.
Yes, Manas.
Niharika, can you please close from your end all the video apart from the post?
Yes.
Nanda? Hello, Nanda? Hello?
Manas sir.
Yeah. Nanda, how much time it will take? Yeah, I think till now 60 only joined, right?
And apart from that, there are 10.
Hello?
It's okay, 50 will close that, sir.
Yeah, students are joining, right? Yeah. So both the HR joined. Nanda? Hello.
Sir, HS also joined, sir. Speakers also joined.
Okay, not an issue, not an issue. Both the speakers you just take care of. You need to be joined after that, okay?
Sure, sure. I'll just take a sir.
Once they join, we can start the session, right?
Fine, fine. 12, sharp 12 or 12:05, we will start the session.
Okay, okay, fine, not an issue. We can wait another 5 minutes. And in that time, we just ask all the students, they need to be joined.
Request you all to please switch off your videos. It captures the bandwidth.
Someone chatting like you can't able to listen, right? So please unmute your speaker only, okay? Then only you can able to listen.
Manas, we have muted
Yeah.
everyone. So,
Yeah, muted
in
everyone. I
case
think call device, right?
in
That
case
option.
anyone wants to speak, that person has to raise hand. I will unmute them.
Yes. Fine. Yeah. Later we can go for that question answer, right? Nanda, how much time it will take? It's 12 to.
Sir, at 12:05, we will wait up till 12:05, and
Till
12:05 we will
12:05, right?
just.
So our both the speakers they join.
Yes, everybody has joined, sir.
They join. Right? Great. Uh, Again, I would say like Team Tamil Nadu and Team Kerala, please ask your students to join immediately, right? We are going to start within 2 minutes. Till now, only 91 participants joined. Niharika, out of 91, I think few from our head office also, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And apart from that, there are 10 people on YouTube.
10, sure, then 10 people on YouTube. Okay. They are from South, or can you able to find out, or what? You can understand, right?
Give me a minute, I'll check it.
Yeah.
Hello, is that I'm audible to everyone? Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Manas, sir, shall we start the session?
Niharika, can you start?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, good
Niharika,
afternoon, everyone. It's a very welcome from and thank you for joining us in today's seminar. Let me introduce the presenter today, Mr. Parthy Jagadish, is the Regional HR South of Zudio, Taka Trent, and Mr. Kunal Naidu, Regional HR of West Region of Zudio, Taka Trent. So before we proceed to the session, like job hunt during the corona pandemic, how we will find the job, what we have to do, how we can prepare in the lockdown period, how can we utilize and be productive on this time. So he will take the session. He will tell what is the actual industry will going to be after this lockdown period. So before
Hello. Hello.
Manas sir, please take over the session.
Hello. Yeah. Can you able to hear me? Hello. Okay,
Yes, sir, we are able to hear you, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
Manas,
yeah.
we can hear.
Yeah, is it okay? Hello. I'm not audible. Yeah.
Yes, sir, we are able to hear you, sir. Please take care of the session.
Okay.
Please take over the session,
Okay.
sir.
Fine. Hi. Good morning, everyone. This is Manas, the Deputy General Manager of ICA. Today, we are going to arrange a session regarding like COVID pandemic and all. Like today, our both the speakers, they are going to take the sessions and they are going to tell you and they are going to brief you something regards after COVID, what will be the opportunities there and what we need to do now. So I would like to say you something before that, like all of my students as well as others, like please stay your home, keep maintain social distancing and all, and don't feel like you are alone now. I see all the ICNs with you people. Once lockdown are going to be over, again each and every day, as our team members, as our managements are going to like coordinating with you people, the same we are going to keep touch with you all. So don't feel you are alone. And once lockdown period is going to be over, we are, as per the government instruction, we are going to start our like classes and all. Everything are going to be smooth. So whoever placed till now, like we were working, and after that, due to this like reason, like maybe now you are in your home, like you are stopped from your like we stopped our working and all. So if anything will be happen, again we are going to take care of you peoples. So no need to worried about that. And for our upcoming students, what I'm going to say, once lockdown is over, everything will be smooth, so you need to come back again. So that will inform you, my center team will inform you. uh, so today's session, please listen and watch carefully, and if you have any questions, so once their sessions will be over, you can ask them. So then questions and the question answer session will be there for 5 to 10 minutes. They will brief you, they will give you your answers and all. So please watch and listen carefully. Thank you. Hello. Hello. Niharika. Hello.
Yes, Manas.
Yeah, yeah. Nanda. Nanda. I think Nanda is muted.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is it clear? From my end, it is
Hello.
clear.
Thank you, sir.
Hi,
Mr.
Nanda.
Parthy
Nanda
Jagadish
has
has joined.
joined.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So I would like to ask Mr. Parthy Jagadish, Regional Manager South from Tata Trends Studio, to
But in screen, nothing is coming.
Hello. Hello.
Manas, Nanda has shared the
Jagadish,
screen
sir,
only.
please proceed.
Hi, Hi, Nanda. I have joined and I cannot hear you. Like, your voice is breaking. Is it audible to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir. We are audible. You are audible.
Okay. Hi, Kunal. Kunal, you have joined, right? Kunal? Nanda, can you unmute Mr. Kunal, please?
Yes, I have unmuted him.
Yeah.
Yes, I have joined, Parijit.
Hi, Kunal. Yes.
Hi.
So, Nanda, we can start, Nanda.
This process. Please, you can start, sir. You have the thing.
You can just place my PPT presentation and we can go ahead with it. Okay. So I am audible to everyone there. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir. You
good
are
afternoon,
audible, sir.
everyone, and thanks for the opportunity from ICA, and thank you, Nanda, for giving us an opportunity to to share our views in terms of the COVID-19 pandemic situation. And with me, I would have request my colleague, Mr. Kunal, had also joined with us, and he will also share his insight in terms of COVID.
Yes. Hello. Hello.
Now you are audible now.
Yeah, I'm audible now. Now I'm audible. Now I can hear you all. Hello.
Hello, Jagadish sir. Hello. 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 নেটের প্রবলেম কিছুতেই কানেক্ট করতে
ওদের নেটের প্রবলেম হচ্ছে এই চ্যানেলগুলো লাইভ
ও তো জয়েন করে আছে।
Hello. Hello.
Hello, Parid, you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Kunal. So everything is fine, right? Is it audible now?
It is audible now.
Yes, now, yes. Now we will related back the network issue. Please continue, sir.
No.
Please continue.
Okay. So sorry for some technical glitches, so we cannot able to connect it on time. So let me go through the PPTs first. And the topic of today is job hunt during and after COVID-19 pandemic. So with me, I would invite my colleague, Mr. Kunal, will also join with me in terms of he will also share his insight in terms of how this COVID-19 pandemic situation will rise in terms of helping the employment post and after. So starting with that, let me introduce a person. Yes, next slide.
Niharika. Hello.
Yes, Manas.
Parthip is unmuted, right? Muted. I'm unmuted. Muted, I think. Just check once.
I think he has exited. He's not visible.
Hello.
Participant list. No way visible.
Is he unmuted now?
ಪ್ರದೀಪ್ ದಾಮನ್ ಪಾತೆಯಾ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಅವನೇ
You are unmuted.
Manas, there is some issue. I'm unable to unmute him. Now he is exited.
Niharika speaker is there, but he's muted. Unmuted. Hello.
I have unmuted him.
Oh, now he is unmuted.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Parthi, can you able to hear?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so
start. Please start. Yeah.
so it's already time.
Yes,
Sorry
yes,
for the
yes.
technical glitches, and we'll go through the second slide. And the gentleman which you are seeing in the PPT is Mr. Abraham Maslow. So Abraham Maslow is a well-defined psychologist. Like he had came up with the hierarchy theory as Maslow's need. Okay, so there are 5 very important needs which he had mentioned. It is one is psychological needs, another one is safety needs, and belongings, esteem needs, and self-actualization. So when you can see through it, you can yourself understand, like all our basic things, which is like self-explanatory. Even though as a bottom, like we have a basic needs, or we call it as a psychological needs for a human being, like food, water, sleep, and exertion. And the second level is a safety needs. Safety needs is nothing but the security order and the stability. These 2 steps are important to the physical survival of a person. Once individuals have basic nutrition, shelter, and safety, they attempt to accomplish more. Okay, so that is all about from the second stage of the pyramid. The third stage of the pyramid shows love and belonging. So what is love and belonging? Which are very psychological needs. When individuals have taken care of themselves physically, they are ready to share themselves with others, such as with family, friends, and neighbors. The fourth level of the pyramid will be the esteem needs, and the esteem needs to be content and recognized, such as the status and the level of success. It shows the prestige and the feeling of accomplishment of a self. And the top of the pyramid is nothing but the self-actualization. At the top of the pyramid, the self-actualization occurs when individual reaches a state of harmony and understanding because they are engaged in achieving their full potential. Once a person has reached the self-actualization state, they focus on themselves and try to build their own image. They may look at their in terms and feelings such as self-confidence or by accomplishing a set of goals. So this gentleman, Mr. Abraham Maslow, had well defined his hierarchy on terms of psychologically, which helps during this pandemic situation. Next slide. Next slide, please. Okay, so the next slide, what we are going to see is, according to Abraham's hierarchy theory, so we will take each pyramid, and from the each pyramid, we will see how this helps in terms of Corona COVID-19 situation. So what are all the do's and what are all the don'ts we are going to see through this pyramid structure? So the first one is psychological needs during COVID-19. So what else we have to do during the psychological needs during the COVID-19 is, do try to meet your basic needs. So what are our basic needs? Food, water, shelter, or our basic needs. And what are all the don'ts we have to follow during the psychological needs during COVID-19 is engaging in activities that are unhealthy for the body and the mind. So it is very clearly mentioned that we should not get engaged in any other activities which is unhealthy to the body and the mind. The same thing, it is applicable for each permit. And Mr. Abraham had very clearly had mentioned that, the each permit had their own does and don'ts. The safety needs during COVID-19 doses, educate yourself about the fact about the rate of infection in your area. So it is very well, now we are in a situation where we see a lot of viruses infecting our nearby situation, and to overcome it, we have to educate ourselves. We have to keep us updated. So what is happening in the nearby location? What is happening in the nearby geographical location? What are all the casualties? So these things, we have to get it now. And what are all the don'ts we have to do is, don't put more pressure on yourself to achieve the higher orders. Please do not violate any process. So that is what it is very easily had mentioned. It is not to violate any process during this COVID-19 situation. And the third one is social needs during COVID-19. What we have to do during this COVID-19, during the social need is, we have to get connected with our family. We can spend more time with our families, neighbors, and friends. You can make use of your social networkings, you can call your friends and neighbors, and you can spend some good times, quality times with them. And what you don't want to do is, you can ignore the attempts of connection from healthy members, which will affect them in terms of spreading the virus. So the fourth pyramid is, next slide, esteem needs during the COVID-19 situation. What are the esteem needs? The fourth pyramid is, encourage family members and other peers in their current efforts and surviving this pandemic. We have to encourage the family members and also the social workers who are really putting their heart and soul in terms of surviving the pandemic, the police officials, doctors, nurses, and all social workers who are there in the street in terms of taking care of us. And what are the don'ts we have to do is, meet your esteem needs through others' achievement, especially your children's. Please do not indulge your thing into your neighbors or your children's and make them more specific during this time. Okay. And the last one is self-actualization needs during the COVID-19 is, what are the does and don'ts is, be creative about how you can give back and help others during this struggle. Just think how you can lend your hands and support your neighbors or your friends during this situation. And don't just assume that all other are able to focus on their creativity at this time. So please do not expect that everyone will be on the same page during this situation. Yes, they do have their own challenges and their, the expectations towards the social responsibilities. So you cannot expect everyone to follow the same rules and conditions. So be more creative. And this is how Mr. Abraham Maslow had identified this psychological theory a long back, which is really helping in terms of COVID-19 situation, not only in India, even in all other countries. Next slide. So COVID-19, what we know thus so far. So what is COVID-19 and what we know still though far is COVID-19, World Health Organization had declared that it is a pandemic as COVID-19. And what are all the outcome we are seeing in our nation? As a nation, we have 35,000 active cases till yesterday, till last evening, and 1,151 deaths though so far. And it is trying to reduce the spread in all communities. Locations like geographical locations like Maharashtra, it's into the peak where we have more than 10,000 casualties, and places like Tamil Nadu, we are very close to 3,000. And really, we have to appreciate the places like Kerala. It has really come down into a huge number, where we have started with the high numbers and they have come up with a very minimum number these days. And this is how it is spreading across the nation. And America has the largest casualties other than the Europe countries. America, as everyone know, they're very much superior in terms of their technology and monetary benefits and everything. As a financial state, they are very much stable, and they are not accepting the failure of the COVID-19. Yes, every day we can see at least 25,000 to 30,000 people are getting admitted on daily basis in terms of this COVID-19 cases. And America has a huge loss, more than 1 million of cases, 1 million active cases they have there in their own country, and close to 63,000 deaths have been there till yesterday. And when you come to out of America, cases outside China had expanded lockdown to cover entire countries. Yes, the regions like Asia, Europe, and North America, and South America, and Oceania have taken severe steps in terms of lockdown, the complete lockdown in every nation to reduce the pandemic situation and also to spread the virus across the nation. US has announced a ban on non-citizen travels. So previously, there was a kind of situation that everyone who used to work in a software field, they have to rush it to America for their things in terms of their work or in terms of their tourism or whatever it is. Everyone are interested to travel to US, but now US had banned their non-citizen travel because of this coronavirus, in which they are moreover their economical state is also come down. So next is the financial market have priced risk aggressively since virus, and because of this virus is market lot of we have lot of prices hikes in the products. You can see it in the local market and near our geographical locations also, where we used to buy a product for 100 rupees. Now they are selling it for at least a 10% margin over and above it, and they're selling it. So recession risk is a major economic is real. Yes, recession is probably everyone we are going to face it in this financial year. So there will be a lot of challenges in terms of employability, in terms of monetary benefits, in terms of small business entrepreneurs and medium business entrepreneurs and everyone. And India, we expect a significant negative impact of minus 10 to 25% for the next 9 months in 2020 for non-food retailers. I'm talking about only the non-food retailers. Food retailers are essentials, so they should go up to the LFL growth of single digit, maybe 3 to 5%. But non-retailers like apparels and fashion retails, we will see a very in depth of minus 10 to minus 25% of degrowth. And government has also supporting in terms of their fiscals, they are supporting in terms of revising their tax benefits and everything, but still nothing had come on the active states, only it is in paper. So next slide. So this graph it clearly shows the implications for Indian retail. So it is bifurcated into two. Retail is a vital part of India's economic, and the retail contribution is 40% of India's consumption, and employees of 40 to 50 million were working in retail sectors. Okay, so close to 40 to 50 million people are working in retail sector. When you talk about retail sector, it is all food and non-food retails. So the first chart on your left-hand side shows the retail industry is contributing to 40% of India's consumption in 2019. As you can see, like the FMCG, fast-moving and consumer uh, goods, and or in the top 0.4 percentage. Apparel we are with 0.1, and other industries like jewels, watches, and electronics are 0.2 percentage in depth. So the second chart shows the probability of employments for people in the country, the number of jobs. This data had taken in 2018. Okay, so the overall employment is 500, and 400 are from non-retail, and 21 are from food and grocery retail. 8% are from apparels, and 22 other are sub-industrials and retailers. So this data, we have taken it. This data is taken it from Roy Retail Association of India, and it's not. It is not a future data. It is a past data which we have taken it in 2019. 2020 data we have not received because of this pandemic situation. So all the numbers which I have given above is trillion. The consumption is 1.7 to 1.8 trillion, and which you can see in 2009 is the FNG is 0.4, the apparel footwear is 0.1, and other sub industries 0.2. And we expect by 2025 it might be increased to 3.1 to 3.2 trillion, where we'll be seeing a lot of increase in terms of other sub industries like jewelries, watches, and CDITs. If you talk about consumer durable and information technology, there will be a huge hike in terms of 0.6 percentage. And again, apparel will be as similar with the whole data, 0.1 percentage, and FMCG like fast moving consumer goods and food and grocery will be 0.5 percentage. Next slide. So this shows the two potential scenarios, basic duration of the impact between 3 to 6 months. Actually, the impact could be higher or lower. Okay, so there are two graphs again. The left-hand side, if the recovery is post 3 months, and the right-hand side is the scenario 2, recovery post 6 months. So what will be the recovery post 3 months? We have to discuss about it. The significant impact will be minus 40% of your last year growth. When you talk about LFL is and to be updated is the 40% of degrowth will be showing when you compare with your last year's sales. Okay, so for the first quarter followed by the recovery in July, if you take April, May, and June, if 3 months we have a dip, and it should go up to 9 to 11% of degrowth in the next financial years in terms of your business revenue. And the next scenario is if the pandemic situation continues for the next 6 months. Say example, if it continues till August, September, and probably your degrowth ratio will be going up to 20 to 25% of last year's sales. So example, if you do a business of 100 crores last year, and if your pandemic situation is rises now, and you are getting recovered after August, so you will be able to do only 75%, 75 to 80 crores of business, where your 20 to 25 crores will be your degrowth. The 25% of your business will be in a degrowth. Next slide. So decline in sales due to COVID will have a debilitating impact on retailers' profitability. Illustration as a this illustration is taken from the apparel retailers aspect. With all, like, you know, again there are two graphs which is showing you the base retailer profit and loss, and the second one is scenario with 40% and 40% in your lower sales. Okay, so let us take the first graph. So in the first graph, like, you know, if we are assuming that we are doing 1,000 crore business, and out of the 1,000 crore, 500 crores will be of your cost of goods sold, and 150 will be your fixed selects. When you talk about your fixed selects, all your rental, EB, and your salary, everything will come across your fixed selects. And if you talk about your variable, variable will be some 100 crores. All this logistics, transport, marketing, and visual merchandising stuffs will be coming under this 100. And the store contribution is green. So why it is green and why it is gray is, like, you know, all this 250 crores store contribution will be the intern stock which is there in the store, which is ready to sell, which is ready to give to the customers, the product which is ready in the store and which is ready to sell to the end users. And the next one is 150 crores, which is A&M and HO cost. A&O is nothing, A&M is nothing but asset and maintenance, and HO cost, like, you know, it will be 150. So this is the basic sale, which we are, like, you know, let us assume we have done it for 2019. Okay, so now I have done 1,000 crores business. Out of 1,000 crores, 500 is COGS, and 150 is fixed sales, and 100 is my variable selects, and 250 I have my intern with my store, and 150 is A&M and HO cost. And out of that, like, you know, I have 10% of EBITDA, which shows close to 100 crores. Okay, now the second graph is what will be the scenario in the worst case. Now, if we have a scenario with 40% of lower sales after this pandemic, now all the business will be coming down. So if you have a sale through of 40% dip in our business, so example, now we are doing a 600 crores business. Out of 600 crore business, 300 will be of COGS, and 135 will be on fixed selects, and 60 will be on variable selects. And again, like, you know, we'll be having some 105 crores of, like, you know, store contribution in the stores, and 115 A&M and HO cost. So it will, like, you know, now you have to see the difference between the base retailer and the scenarios. The graph 2 shows clearly that, like, you know, that, like, you know, we will be in a very big dip in terms of our business revenue generation. So what are all the things you can control in terms of, like, you know, COGS? COGS is nothing but the cost of goods sold, where you can control your procurement. You cannot able to procure a new stocks. So you have to run your business with the old season stocks. Example, like, you know, in apparel, we have a different seasons, winter, summer, and everything. So we used to run with the old seasonal stocks, and we have to rush through the revenue. And in terms of fixed selects, what we can do in terms of, like, you know, reducing the fixed selects is, like, you know, 100% we cannot able to, like, you know, lay off the works, and we can rationalize, rather we can rationalize the works to the employees, like associates, frontline employees, like associates and store managers. And when you talk about variable, yes, we can also cut down few costs in terms of marketing and in terms of visual merchandising, because, like, we will not be able to generate more revenue as we expected in the last financial year. So these are all the functions where you can really, like, you know, cut down your cost, and you can just increase your revenue. Next. Next slide. So, okay. So next is how to job hunt during the coronavirus pandemic. Okay, so there are some 5 bulletin points which I have given you. Be patient, acknowledge the situation, network, and update your resources, highlight any remote work experience and skills graduations in scenarios such as use their university's online resources. If a company is not hiring right now, ask it to keep you in mind. So these are all the five major bulletin points which I have shared with you, and I have to take it through the details in it. So now let's talk about be patient and acknowledge the situation. So the name of the game here is patience. Okay, as frustrating as it is to wait for a answer when it comes to getting a job, things are most likely not moving as normal right now. Many companies are still trying to figure out what the coronavirus means for their business. While some companies may have hiring freezes, many are still interviewing for open positions. They just may not be moving as fast as originally planned. Keep this patience in mind when communicating with the hiring managers where you go for an interview. You don't know what companies or employees are dealing with, so it is best to lead the empathy. If you recently interviewed with any company and have not heard back, it's okay to reach out to the recruiter. However, you should consider waiting at least 2 weeks before following up. You should preface the email by acknowledging the situation as well as checking to see if there is anything further they need from you. Then give them a breathing room to respond at their own space. When you talk about network and update your resource, while a lot of things may be harder from home, updating your recruiter facing resource is one that is actually easier. This is perfect opportunity to work on your personal branding, like updating your resume and LinkedIn profiles or building your new skills. Virtual workshops and online classes can add to your skills level, making you more marketable. Once you have updated all the assets, it's time to network. There's plenty of ways to keep doing so many things during the social distancing. I personally recommend reaching out to the people of virtual coffee meeting and informal interviews to learn more about opportunities at their companies. Just test your Wi-Fi connection is fast, as we do it now. And the third point is highlight any remote work experience and skills. For any who has worked from home before, now is your chance to emphasize the major asset. Consider adapting your resume to highlight any previous remote work experience as well as including any achievements gathered while working from home. It also for frontline employees, you can also improve your communication skills. Now communication is a major task, so whatever the job you are working in, so they will be looking at your communication skills. So this will be the ideal time to develop your communication skills, so which you can also perform it in your interviews. After seeing the potential remote work, it may incorporate further by companies even after this crisis is over. So while many people are quickly having adapt to working remotely, it does require a different set of skills that you should highlight if you have them already. Companies may look for candidates that exhibit soft skills such as adaptability, creativity, and productivity. Additionally, applicants should consider emphasizing their technical aptitude as a remote setup can demand frequent conference call or video meetings. So fourth is graduating seniors should use their university online resources. When you talk about the graduation seniors, education data estimate that 7.5 billion people will graduate from college this year. 7.5 billion people will graduate from college this year. It's huge. And many of whom expected to apply for a start job shortly thereafter. Yet, without traditional resources like job fairs and interpersonal internship program, this can feel all the more daunting. Fortunately, many career service centers have moved online as a campuses close, offering students access to number of resources while remote. Resource like this job sites like Naukri, Monster, and College Database allow students to communicate directly with employers. The importance of checking your account regularly, keeping your profile updated, and reaching out to the employers to optimize your chances of being hired. And the last one is, if a company is not hiring right now, ask it, keep your in mind. So maybe you are interested in working at a company that has implemented a hiring freeze or simply doesn't have a bandwidth to bring on any new soon. If there are no open position at the moment, ask if it would be possible to have an information interview in the coming weeks to learn more. Companies will still want to build their talent pipeline, so be proactive, persistent, and respectful. When job hunting, even just getting your name in the door can make a big difference during the challenging times. So this is all of the very important five key points will be helping you to job hunt during this corona pandemic situation.